South Africa has really come a long way since 1994, which was the first democratic elections in this country. Welcome to Measuring Up Municipalities with myself, Manika, the man of the Midas touch. As we launch this fantastic channel, the ANC NC Online TV channel, we will be celebrating the work that the ANC has done in this country and particularly in the Northern Cape. We'll be engaging with leaders in municipalities and also we'll diagnose some of the problems we have. As we launch ANC NC Online TV channel in celebration of the 4th Industrial Revolution, as we are online, it is only befitting to talk to somebody that is very close to the 4th Industrial Revolution. And let's talk to the chairperson of the African National Congress of the Northern Cape, Dr. Zamani Saul. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Malik, and good evening to the listeners and the viewers as well.
I must say you're looking snazzy in your matte finish suit while I'm rocking the gloss.
Thank you very much for that review, a positive review.
The ANC is undergoing a renewal process, and you are on record saying that this is an ongoing exercise. I remember there was a time where the ANC in the Northern Cape was the only stable one in the country. How is the renewal process in the Northern Cape going?
You're quite correct, Malik. Renewal is not an event, it's a process. And we are still going to be with this renewal program for some few years to come. And as the African National Congress in the Northern Cape, we are fully committed to ensure that we renew our organization to be a better agent for service delivery for the people of the country and as well as the people of the Northern Cape. But the state of the organization in the Northern Cape is that we've got an organization that is solid as granite and focused as laser beam. So we are ready for the local government elections. We have undertaken very difficult processes to ensure that we identify solid candidates that will be representing our different communities in all the 232 wards. We are very confident with the people that we've identified to stand as ward and PR councillors. We are effectively contesting each and every one of the 232 wards, and we are fielding, including PR councillors, more than 500 councillors for these local government elections, and we are hoping for the best. The reason why we are hoping for the best, and we can see that we are going to perform much better. Number one is because our support base is energized by the renewal program. By renewal, we are actually saying, let's clean our organization to be a better agent for service delivery. We must fight corruption, we must fight wastage, we must fight laziness, and have each and every one of us who've got the privilege to occupy a public office focusing on the work at hand to improve the quality of lives of the people of the Northern Cape.
Now, as you mentioned that we are going into local government elections, and of course, the 1st of November coming, many people will be queuing at the voting stations to cast their votes. And saying that we have solid candidates is one thing, but how ready is the ANC for these elections?
I think compared to any other province in the country, the Northern Cape is much more ready. I'm certain you should know that we are the only province in the country that managed to convene a provincial conference to elect provincial leadership. We also managed to convene 4 out of the 5 regional conferences that we're supposed to have. And in more than 190 branches of the ANC, we've got elected branch leadership. So the election machinery that the movement have, you can't compare it to any other political party in the province. We've got a branch of the ANC even in your deepest of the deepest rural areas like Innesville. There's a branch of the ANC which is functional, in existence, with leadership, with membership. So the reach that we have, the electoral reach that we have, can't be compared to any other political party. You'll find out most of the political parties which are there, they only exist for elections. When it's elections, then boom, there's a political party. and soon after elections, they are dead. So African National Congress has got structures on the ground which are in existence right throughout, responding to community needs, mobilizing communities behind the banner of the ANC. That election machinery, it's unparalleled, it's unmatched, there's no other party that can claim that. So with that election machinery, we are in a much better position compared to any other party. And the fact that we've got elected leaders in all our branches in the province.
I know some of my viewers or our viewers there will pardon me for this one. There was a time where Chiefs saw Pirates as a competitor, as on the same league. What would you say? Who is your competitor within this local, government elections in terms of political parties?
I don't really like to speak about other political parties, but one of the issues which we've noted in 2016 local government elections is the fact that the majority of the ANC traditional supporters did not go and vote for the ANC, but they rather decided to stay at home instead of voting for an opposition party. And the reason why that happened is simply because there is no credible opposition in South Africa. You look at all the different political parties which are there. You look at the DA, you look at the EFF, and you look at what has been recently formed, service delivery forums. There is no credibility. Hence, when people are angry with the ANC, when there's a great deal of discontentment with regard to the quality of services that we render, people just decide to stay at home and not go and vote for opposition parties. So we are quite happy this time around. Our support base is highly energized, and they are very positive towards the ANC, and that actually puts us in a much better position compared to the local government elections in 2016.
Now, you spoke of the candidates of the ANC, that they are solid, and there are people that want to hit the ground running, they're here to work. What is the balance in terms of gender within the candidates that you're offering our people within the Northern Cape?
That's just another strength that the ANC have, because if you look at our list of more than 500 candidates, 50% thereof is women. And we do that deliberately because of our struggle to ensure that there is gender equity and that women are adequately represented in all forums of decision making. So about 50% of our candidates is women, which is a major achievement for the ANC in the province. And what that actually means is that after elections, not less than 50% of mayors and people will be serving in executive positions in municipalities. It will be women. That is a major achievement. It can't be compared to any other political party. Other political parties, they won't even talk about the issue of gender representation on their list. Number two, what is important about our list is that about more than 25% is young people. And there's a group of dynamic young people, well-educated, who are part and parcel of our list. And we firmly believe that having young people on our list will really energize, will add some vibrancy in our fight during these local government elections. And they will be doing lots of work after the elections to ensure that we improve the conditions of young people. I'm certain you know the fact that currently the unemployment rate in the province is standing at 28.2%. From the 28.2%, about 60% is young people. So young people are always at the receiving end of all these social ills: unemployment, poverty, lack of education, and lack of training. Having young people as councillors, that will add so much value and weight in our program to ensure that we've got a youth-focused budget. In municipalities, we've got youth-focused budgets as the provincial government, and we highly appreciate it. But also you've got another sector which is completely ignored by other political parties, which is your LGBTIQ plus community, which is fully represented in our list. They are there as candidates. We are not ashamed of them. We know that they are part and parcel of this community. As each and every South African has got a right of self-actualization. Nobody has got a right to define your gender. Each and every South African has got a right to self-actualization, and we welcome, we embrace them. They are part and parcel of our elections campaign, and we also feel that some of them to be our candidates. So there's a great deal of diversity, which makes our candidate list very rich, makes it very heavy. In actual fact, we are able to mobilize people from different sectors of the society in order to ensure that we've got diverse skill base. Some are trained in finance, some are lawyers, we've got educators who are on our list, and then we've got accountants who are on our list. At some point, you've got project managers, people with qualifications in project management. We are taking this thing very seriously because we want quality ANC councillors that will assist us to turn around local government.
It all sounds pretty good, and there's two things here: young people and energy, which goes together. But how is all this strategy and having solid councillors going to energize the economy of the province?
Exactly, I think that's quite a very good question, Malik, because the reality of the matter is if we can't plan properly, with skilled people, having evidence-based planning and discourse around development, and particularly economic development, we are not going to be able to get that economic development. Like, for an example, in a secondary city like Kimberley, the quality of councillors that we need to respond to all the major socio-economic challenges which we are confronted with in the city, in a secondary city like Kimberley. You need sophisticated councillors. You need sophisticated councillors who understand what is the economic trajectory of the town, what is it that should be done in order to ensure that we ramp up industrialization in Kimberley as the capital city of the province. You need smart councillors who understands, who can dissect and break down a budget of the municipality. What does this theme of high electricity tariffs mean and what's its implications? That's what we need. So that's basically the approach that we decided to take. That this time around we need highly sophisticated councillors with a full grasp and comprehension of the task ahead, both in terms of the political dynamics and technical challenges. We don't want councillors who tell us that budget is not my business. Budget is council business. And councillors must understand the budget because we use resources in order to drive development. So hence, we actually focus on ensuring that we've got a mixed skill base with regard to the councillors that we're putting forward. We've got councillors who are accountants. We've got councillors who've got good project management skills. And then you've got councillors who are teachers, we've got councillors who are social workers, and we firmly believe that it is cross-breed and diverse base of skills will basically bring dignity to our municipalities.
It will definitely be interesting to see a combination of two generations, the young and the old school within the village. How do you think that will go in terms of thought?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at our list, it's quite clear that the young are born now. And they are there, they want to make their presence felt, and we highly appreciate it. That's basically part and parcel of renewal. Renewal is not only about one thing, to clean up the image of the organization, fighting issues of corruption, but also is about modernizing the party. We need young people with contemporary vibrancy to lead the African National Congress. South Africa is a very youthful country. About 60% of our population is young people. The last report that we got from the IEC is that 92% of the people on the voters roll is young people. So we need to see young people leading the African National Congress. We need to see young people leading municipalities, very young people leading municipalities, and they've got capacity. And I think it's the responsibility of the African National Congress to rescue them, because if we don't put them to the challenge, there's absolutely no way that we know what capacity do they have and what kind of contribution they can make to the development agenda. We are executing a developmental agenda. And when we execute a developmental agenda, it's what we speak about most of the time is crossing the river by touching the stones. We make mistakes and we accept those mistakes. But at the end of the day, we should not lose focus on trying to achieve our objectives of improving the quality of life of the people of this country.
There's no denying that the ANC, that government has done a lot since 1994.
Yes.
I mean, the picture is clear where you go around the country or even the province. Housings have come up. but there's still more and more informal settlements coming up. Any projects that are coming up in terms of housing within the province?
Yes, you're quite correct, Malik. There's a massive amount of work that was done from 1994. There's massive amount of work which was done from 2016, which is the current term of local government. When we got into power in 1994, there was less than 40% of households in this country with electricity. There was less than 40% of households in this country with adequate sanitation. There was less than 40% of households in this country with access to clean water. On all those, less than 40%. Access to clean water, less than 40%. Access to electricity grid, less than 40%. And access to adequate sanitation, less than 40%. But as I'm speaking to you now, 96% of the people of the Northern Cape have got access to clean running water. Massive achievement. You've got plus 80% of the population of this province, they are connected to an electricity grid. And you've got plus 80% of the households in the province, they've got access to adequate sanitation. In actual fact, from 1994, we've doubled the figures of people with access to water, with access to adequate sanitation, and with access to electricity. So you can't say that there's nothing that the ANC government has done. Linked to that is the massive rollout of housing projects. By now, since 1994, we've managed to build close to 90,000 houses. And I want people to understand what we mean by 90,000 houses. It simply means government building a house there, call you, give you the key and the title deed. And that's what we've been doing today together with the Minister of Housing, Mamulu Kukubai. She's here. I was with her in DR to go and observe a housing project. Today we are putting up 400 units, decent houses, 400 units. The project is already running. We went to Hanover also to close up a project of 172 decent housing units, and we're giving the beneficiaries of that project title deeds today. And it was heartwarming to give a title deed to an 82-year-old lady, a 76-year-old man who said, we've been waiting and waiting, and now we got our houses and we title deeds. Sense of ownership for the first time in their lives. So those are things that you can't relish. Doesn't matter what political perspective you have. It's issues that you can't relish. That for the first time, an 82-year-old gets a title deed with a decent house that she can say it's her house, claim ownership over a property for the first time. And tomorrow we are going to launch the High Street project here in Kimberley. The first phase of that project will see us building 400 housing units. And these are major achievements, things that we are doing restlessly to ensure that we improve the quality of lives of the people. But there is nobody who can say, the argument does not stand that there's nothing that the ANC government has done over the past 26 years and over the past few years that this local government has been, this current crop of local government practitioners have been elected. So there's a massive amount of work that has been done, which we are very proud of. But in acknowledging that, we also accept the fact that there are still major difficulties that we need to collectively respond to. And in order for us to collectively respond to those challenges, we need a hybrid of ANC councillors who will be able to understand the dynamics of bulk water, bulk sewer, and bulk electricity to ensure that we are not sitting with these water stoppages and electricity outages in our communities. Those things we must be able to bring to an end. And if you read the ANC manifesto, we are basically targeting that.
Now, the ANC in the Northern Cape is governing all of their municipalities. Yeah. And you just shared some of the fantastic stories and fantastic work that the ANC has done. What are some of the good stories within those municipalities?
Yeah, there's massive. There's a whole lot of good stories almost in each and every municipality. Just today, we had a hall full of elderly people, myself and Minister of Housing, Human Settlements, with a hall full of people who are giving them dental deeds. And they will be owning properties for the first time. We did it today. Today, I was with the Minister in the R. We went there to inspect a massive housing development that is taking place there. The biggest housing project that is taking place there. Tomorrow, I'm with the Minister here in Kimberley to launch one of the biggest housing projects, multi-million rand housing projects that will be taking place here in Kimberley. So those are some of the good stories, and we are working in collaboration with municipalities because most of our municipalities have got, they play an active role in our program to ensure that we build houses for the people of this country. So with all of that, if you take the total sum of the work that we've been doing, ensuring that people have got access to electricity, which is plus 80%, people have got access to water, which is 96%, and ensuring that people have got access to adequate sanitation, which is plus 80%, even in deep rural areas. If you take the total sum of these things, it actually tells us that with all the difficulties and challenges which are there, we are certain that we have done something to improve the quality of lives of our people. And with the program of renewal that we've embarked on, led by our most reliable president, Cyril Ramaphosa, who is appealing to the people of this country to be part and parcel of his vision around renewal of the African National Congress, to be part and parcel of the vision of the collective ANC leadership around issues of ensuring that we polish the image of the organization. We become an honest organization with integrity that is responsive to the needs of our people. With all of that, we are certain that as we emerge out of the next local government elections, we are going to emerge with an untold victory. I'm very certain where I'm sitting now that on the 1st of November, people of the Northern Cape will go out in large numbers, and particularly young people, to go and vote for the African National Congress. And I'm also certain that on the 2nd of November, when the elections results have been declared, the ANC will be in the position in the Northern Cape to elect ANC mayors in all 31 municipalities. Currently, we've got 31 municipalities in the province, are quite correct. And all 31 municipalities have ANC mayors. There's not even a single municipality in our province under the governance of opposition parties. All 31 ANC mayors. So we are very certain that post these elections, we will be in a position to elect ANC mayors because we will be in the majority in all 31 municipalities. People are coming up with some scary stories that we are not going to be able to do that. I think even a chicken in a village knows that the ANC is going to perform very well with these elections. And that is not out of arrogance. We're not saying this out of arrogance, we're saying this because we know the kind of work that we have invested over the past few years. We know that our program to turn around our organization is appealing to our support base, and people are coming back in large numbers to give their support to the African National Congress. So a chicken in a village knows. Come 1st of November, ANC will perform good. And I think the support that we get from the people of the Northern Cape, we should not take it for granted. It's support that we should value, and the only way we can value that support is to ensure that as soon as we get elected and we are responsible for all these 31 municipalities again, we ramp up our program for service delivery.
Now, your last message to our viewers, in encouragement for the 1st of November.
Yes. The only last message we can give to our viewers is that our organization is turning the corner. And there's clear plans on how to manage the transition out of COVID. I think everyone knows that during this time of local government, there's been a very big disruption, both in our lives and also in the socioeconomic landscape of the province, which is COVID-19. And we've actually developed plans which we are working extremely hard to ensure that we are going to implement them on managing the transition from COVID. With COVID came high levels of unemployment, came increased number of households in poverty, and it caused a hell of a disruption, disrupted our schooling system and all of that. We are managing that. And if you look what is happening globally, there's no country that has not been affected by COVID. But the World Health Organization acknowledges that South Africa is amongst the few countries in the world that have best managed COVID. If you listen to the Secretary General of the World Health Organization, actually implored countries like in Europe and even the United States of America and say countries must start to look at how South Africa is managing the virus. There is something that they can learn from it. And we are able to do this because we've got reliable leadership. We've got reliable leadership at the national level, and led by our President Cyril Ramaphosa. And also at the provincial level, we are trying our best to reprioritize the total expenditure trying to respond to COVID. By now, it could be more than R1 billion. There are instances of corruption around procurement of goods related to COVID, but I'm certain everybody can agree with me that those who find themselves on the wrong side of the law, we are hunting them down cowboy style. The hawks are busy in this country like never before. People are getting arrested every day. You wake up on stories of people who are getting arrested by the hawks because of they got themselves involved in malfeasance, and they got themselves involved in trying to pocket or pocketing of public funds. So the state institutions have been revamped. They are highly energized. For the first time, we've got the SIU office. I'm certain many people did not know that we don't have an SIU office in the province. We've got a special investigative unit. As soon as we got in as the sixth administration, we looked at the challenges which were there. We listened to the cry of the people around issues of corruption. We went to national and said it's unfair that the Northern Cape is the only province in the country that don't have the special investigative unit offices. We've got offices put up for the first time, which is staffed by qualified, highly qualified investigators. That is the reason why we start to see the fruits thereof now. Arrests which are taking place of people who really found themselves on the wrong side of the law and we have also betrayed the public trust. So we are strengthening our campaign. We are strengthening the institutions, the law enforcement institutions, to ensure that we are going to deal with corruption. And for that, people of South Africa must trust us with. And for that, we call on the people of the province to trust us with, because we are putting up a formidable battle against corruption. We can't allow people to steal public resources, pocket public resources, whilst we are sitting with such major challenges with regard to issues of poverty and unemployment.
Dr. Zamani Saul, thank you so much for joining us on this fantastic channel. The launch, our very first guest of the television channel, ANC NC online TV channel, and the very first guest on the program.
And I think I must congratulate the ANC media team for this innovation. It's quite creative. So now we've got a platform where we can directly engage with the people of the Northern Cape. Not only people of the Northern Cape, I firmly believe we'll be engaging with people right throughout the country. And I'm certain even now, amongst our listeners and people who are viewing this online production, people, even some of them are outside of the province. So I'm very grateful for this initiative. It actually shows that our media team, they are starting to ramp up their activities, and very soon there will be a force to be reckoned with. But thank you very much for having me here on this launch of ANC Northern Cape online television. And we should just continue doing this good work to ensure that we strengthen our community, our communications with our communities.
Thank you so much for joining us. And very soon, we could be voting online. You never know. There's the fourth industrial revolution. And thank you so much for joining us. But to enjoy some of the benefits that the ANC has put on the table as the governing party in the country, guard in numbers and vote ANC. And more importantly, after that, guard in numbers and register and get yourself vaccinated so that you can be around to enjoy the fruits of the plantation that the ANC is putting forward. I'm Malik. Join us again next week as we will be talking to leaders and more leaders of municipalities in the Northern Cape. Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it home. Good night.